And welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World.
Oh,
Uh, I'm of course your host David On Point Up, and right there joined by the from the Daily Blitz blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. Thank you very much for joining us here at Prime Sports World. If you like what we're doing here, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. And on today's episode of the show, we're going to be breaking down week number 9, Monday Night Football. We're going to give out our game balls from week number 9. We're going to talk a little bit about a very, very busy NFL trade deadline that went down just a couple of hours ago. And then we're going to break into week number 10. Stick with us. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section. Either myself or the very talented Christian Simpson will be answering those questions for you. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Christian, happy Thursday, happy Tuesday, my friend. How's it going, man?
it's good, man. How you doing today, David?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man, low key. So I went to the grocery store today, right?
Let me hear. Let me hear. Look, it's never a Tuesday show without at least a David All Point story.
And no, it's not like one of those. Like, so I'm at the register, and they have those like new Oreo peanut butter cups, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, man, those things hit, man. They are so good. Like I didn't plan to buy it. I bought 3 of them. They were 3 for $5. I'm like, man, this is
That's
like
a good deal.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
I ate one of them, man. I'm like, man, this is the stuff right here.
That's hilarious.
I don't know if you've had that.
I have. Now that you've kind of sold it to me, I might have to try it.
It's pretty good, man. It's like everything great about an Oreo and everything great about a peanut butter cup combined into one fantastic concoction.
Listen, David, I kind of got back on this fitness tip, man.
I know, sir. I saw you down some of the LBs, man. So I appreciate that.
Look, I'm back in playing shape, but don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm too comfortable in the analyst chair. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I'm still working on the before picture. So let's bring in Matt James into the show. Welcome in, Matt. Let's get right into it as you start to deep dive. Let's talk about week number 9 because we got a lot to get to here today, and we don't got a lot of time to get through it. Let's talk about Monday Night Football. Arizona Cardinals going to Jerry World, and what always happens when the Arizona Cardinals go to Jerry World? The Arizona Cardinals win. They win this game convincingly in a dominant fashion, 17-7 at halftime. They had 10 points in the third quarter, going to win 27-17. Another fantastic day at the office for Jacoby Brissett. It always seems like wherever Jacoby Brissett ends up, like he always ends up starting a game for wherever he goes. Like he's not meant to be the starter wherever he is, but he ends up starting. He ends up being super effective. It just makes me wonder why a team doesn't want him to be their starting quarterback permanently because the dude can play. Jacoby Brissett, 21-31, 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mercado made well on his one mistake, fumbling that ball a couple weeks ago against the Tennessee Titans. 14 for 79, 5.6 yards per clip. And good to see Marv have one of his kind of semi-breakout performances of the season. 7 for 96 and a tutty. And Trey McBride, reliable for the Arizona Cardinals, also had a touchdown. A tough day at the office for Dak Prescott and this offensive line and the Dallas Cowboys. 24 of 39, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. There were also 2 fumbles, one by Jake Ferguson and one by Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams, his most pedestrian whole game of the season, 15 of 83. And Ryan Forno, I think that's how you pronounce it. He had the one receiving touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, pretty quiet in this game for them. Superstars, but only not even 100 yards receiving between the two of them. Talk to me about it, gentlemen.
Yeah, I just thought Dallas kind of rolled over, plain and simple. They took Arizona a little too lightly, and Matt knows where I'm going with this. He hears me say it on here. David, you've heard me say it on here. You've heard me say it on College Football Showdown. There's no such thing as an easy game in our league. You got to come in 100% ready to play. And to me, this is a reflection upon coaching. Like Brian Schottenheimer simply didn't have his men ready to play at the end of the day. You give Arizona a lot of credit. This is a gutsy win for them. And as far as what you said about Jacoby Brissett, he just answers that call when his number is called. Plain and simple. And how could you root against a guy like that?
Yeah.
I
Matt, you
didn't
there?
catch much of this game last night, but one thing with watching Brissett taking over with the Cardinals, I mean, as you were saying in the opener, he just kind of went in and is doing his thing with them. I mean, they've been competitive. I mean, against good teams like Indy and Green Bay, they fell short on both of those, but they go into Dallas, Jerry World, and just go and kick Dallas's ass. I mean,
They
he
basically
got the
imposed
ball
their
to
will.
his two main guys in Harrison Jr. and McBride. I mean, good things are happening. I mean, could there be a little bit of a controversy with um
Well,
Murray getting healthy here soon?
Jonathan Gannon has come out and said that it will be Kyler Murray's job when he's able to start. But the offense has been more efficient under Jacoby Brissett. The play has been a little bit more crisper under Jacoby Brissett. And as Matt just talked about, the two games that they've started Jacoby Brissett have been against two of the better teams in the NFL, and he more than held his own. I think they're going to have a real conversation about it, but I think eventually Kyler Murray will because they're paying him a ton of money, and they kind of need to know if he's going to be the guy in the future. Because Jacoby Brissett, yes, he's a good football player, but he's probably not the starting quarterback for this team next year. Kyler Murray is probably that guy.
Maybe neither. We'll see how Kyler Murray comes out.
And in a long way, I mean, like
because I've been questioning him the last couple seasons.
I mean,
is he the future, long term for them? I mean, me having friends and family down in the Phoenix area, and even they have been questioning it at times. So, yeah, I mean Murray, you don't know who you're going to get week in week out with him when he is healthy.
So I guess we'll end up seeing how things end up shaking out. Let's swing into almost into week number 10. Let's first talk about game balls. Christian, who you got? Who's getting the game ball?
Oh man, like I always say, I could go in a plethora of different directions, but how could you not give it to Sam Darnold? 21 to 24, 330 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, he did throw an interception, but my man had more touchdown passes than he had in incompletions, David.
I'm going with the whole entire unit. I'm going to give my game ball out to the Pittsburgh Steelers and that defense. All week long and all season long, questions about are they able to generate the same level of pass rush? Is the defense washed? Is they old? But they go in, they welcome in the Indianapolis Colts, a team that's been cooking on offense. They give them to their worst offensive performance of the season. 3 interceptions by Danny Dimes, sacked them 5 times, hit him more than that. Held Danny Jones to a QBR of 13.13. And I know they only won that game by a touchdown, but it did not feel that close. Give it to the Pittsburgh Steelers, silencing the haters. And also on the other end, I mean, Aaron Rodgers may have had his best. He looks rejuvenated a little bit there in Pittsburgh. He's going to have, this might not be his last season. So we'll see. Matt James.
I mean, I could give out a few game balls in one single game alone with the Bears and Bengals putting up stats like no other. I mean, when you go against two, banged up weak defenses.
Funny story about that, right? Okay, so I went to Six Flags on Sunday. Real quick. So I went to Six Flags on Sunday because I got free tickets to the station that I work at. So I saw the score of the Bears game. The Bears had 42 points and the Bengals had 27. So I'm like, okay, well, this game's over. I'm gonna start going to get ready to Six Flags. And so I turn the TV off and I get all this Six Flags stuff ready and I go out to my car and I go out to this gas station in California. So this gas station had gas at $3.99. I didn't realize how cheap that was until I got to the gas station, and there were a billion cars, right? And so then I go to the Sirius XM station that has streams the game. It's kind of like Red Zone only on the radio, and they're talking about the Bengals have the lead, and the Bears have to pull out a miraculous drive in order to take. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
That's exactly what happened.
I'm like, how the hell? It was there was only 4 minutes left in the game. The Bengals scored 15 points. Another 3
You thought you were going to have a nice, easy drive to Six Flags. Yeah. That's not how the Bears roll. You should know better.
Yeah. Man, go ahead. Sorry.
You're good.
Nuts. Yeah, nuts.
With that said, I mean, there's game balls to be had, lots of places for some guys. Brock Bowers, Drake London, both lost, but they had great games keeping their teams in it. I'm going to give it to the two kids. Manungai, first start, had a hell of a game. I mean, he went out and did his thing. I know since he's defense has been pretty much laughed at, before the season even started and how bad they are. But he went out. I mean, he's getting, his reps in and he's getting more confidence week in, week out. And Colston Loveland finally gets his first touchdown and the second one to win the game for them.
Yep.
So big props to Colston. 118 and 2 tutties, including the game winner, which was a beauty too.
Moving on into the NBA NFL trade deadline as it just expired here a few hours ago. I will bring in TJ Hopkins into the show. Welcome into the show, TJ. Let's talk about the NFL trade deadline as we are just a couple hours removed from that being finalized. So kind of a crazy day, right? Most players traded in season the past 25 years. It's tied for the most first-round picks with 3 dealt in 25 seasons. Sauce Gardner, first player dealt for 2 first-round picks since 1990. And then the New York Jets are the first team with multiple in-season trades for first-round picks in the past 25 years. You guys see all those trades that are kind of notable ones on the screen there. Jalen Phillips and Yahya Alexander to the Eagles, Draymond Jones to the Ravens, Williams and Wilson to the Cowboys, Jacoby Myers to the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shaheed to the Seahawks, Sauce Gardner to the Colts for 2 first-round picks, Trayon Shoyinka to the Chicago Bears as they lose what's his name to an Achilles tear. So they had to address that pass rush. And then
Dio.
Yeah. And then Penning to the Chargers as they lose Joel Alt and his name is escaping right now. And let's talk about a little bit of the trade deadline. Any of these trades you think will be considerable needle movers for any of these teams as they try to push towards the playoffs? Let's try to keep it brief. Christian, go ahead. Talk to me about it.
I really like Rashid Shaheed to Seattle. I just think this gives Sam Donald another weapon. And you look at all the attention now that Jackson Smith and Jigba is commanding. I mean, he's had a great year. You know what I'm saying? But now you add Shaheed and you give Sam Donald pretty much another weapon that can stretch the field both vertically and horizontally. He's a solid threat in the red zone. He's a chain mover. He's kind of cut from that Reggie Wayne cloth. Not going to be a number 1 guy necessarily, but he knows his role within an offense.
TJ.
Yes, Rashid Shaheed. I'm interested to see what Sauce Gardner does with a change of scenery because let's be honest, since he got that All-Pro nod, he has not been an All-Pro. He's been called for more penalties. He's been called for you can just see that's just I'm gonna chalk that up to you've been losing your whole career in New York. Same thing with Quentin Williams. I want to see what a change of scenery now does for those 2 dudes because you said 2 first was a little high for Quentin Williams. I would argue that's right on target.
That's for Sauce Gardner. Quentin Williams just for 1 first-round pick.
That's right on target for Quentin Williams. I think he.
Man, I don't really necessarily like giving up a first-round pick when you're a bottom. You're like at the end, if the season were to end today, the Cowboys would have a top 10 pick, and you're giving that up for. I don't necessarily. And that's a bad trade. I think it's terrible. I think for Dallas, that's a real head scratching decision. It seems like they overreacted to the fact that they got trounced on Monday Night Football and national television, and they're like, "Oh, we got to trade for a bunch of stuff to shore up, make it look like we're trying," because this is what it feels like.
That's what panic mode is called.
Yeah, 100%. I don't like either of those trades by the Cowboys. They make 0 sense whatsoever. I do agree with you. I think Sauce Gardner, change of scenery, could do him a lot of good. I just think 2 first-round picks is super rich for a guy who's regressed the last 3 seasons.
I'll say this really quickly about what's going on here in New York with the Jets. This move almost reminds me somewhat of when the Giants traded Odell Beckham. And the reason why I say that is because, I see people on social media, Aaron Glenn, start looking for another job.
Saw that too.
Why? Because look, the Jets did the best thing by breaking this thing apart. You trade away who still have value when they have them. 5 and 6 years down the road, we don't know if that's going to happen.
And you got decent draft compensation for both of them.
I mean, they're going to have 3 first-round picks in this upcoming draft. Like that's unprecedented. They're going to. So the Jets. I think on the Jets, it's a home run. I don't get it on the Dallas side, and as much as if you're Indianapolis, I mean, you play as we talked about last time. You're playing with house money. Push your damn chips to the middle. Go for it. What do you got to lose? I mean, but. Anyways, so yeah, that's our 2025 NBA NFL trade deadline. We'll talk a little bit more about these kind of trades in maybe later episodes. We'll see if things keep playing out. If any of them are even needle movers as we go through the season. Let's talk about week number 10. Let's start with Thursday night football. We got an AFC West showdown. We got the Las Vegas Raiders who came off taking that L going into Denver, who have won, I think, 6 straight or 5 straight at this point, as they are just cruising. Geno Smith did put up crazy numbers. Brock Bowers did put up crazy numbers in a losing effort this most recent weekend. But how do you think this is going to week out? It's week number 10. Christian, talk to me about it.
Wait, hold on. I want y'all to see me do it. The Raiders have been on a bye week all week.
All season.
Yeah.
The Broncos are what, 7-2? Yeah, 7-2.
Yeah.
They've won what, 6 in a row?
6 in a row. They won 6 in a row, and their only loss has been like to the Eagles. I think they haven't lost since that Eagle. Or did they? I don't remember. Yeah, they haven't lost in a minute. Like they're playing exceptional football right now.
All right. So like, and this is the thing that irks me about in the moment people. So it's like they're 7-2, and this is like, oh, but they're not exactly lighting the world on fire. So what? They're winning. Ugly W's are still W's, right? I ain't like they win in 18-15. They win in boring. Oh, fucking cares? They win. They win.
And that Raiders Jaguar game was so entertaining. Like, holy cow! I was watching part of that at Six Flags. Like,
but it's like, yeah. So it's like that was an entertaining game. I guarantee you the Raiders wish they won that game.
Oh, I mean, they did go for 2 for a reason. So
exactly. So it's like, give me the Broncos. I will say this: Kyle Monangai is taking backup snaps. He's like just under 100 yards short of what Ashton Jincy has on the season, and he's taking backup snaps.
That's not ideal.
Not ideal.
That's crazy.
Matt James.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos at home. Hey, I'll take a win any day. I don't care how it is. I mean, the Bears are winning ugly, and I mean, a win's a win, just like TJ said. Yeah, I'll take it.
Moving on across the pond, I think we're going into Germany for this game, where we got the Atlanta Falcons going into Germany, taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Both of these teams are coming off taking L's the most recent week, where the Falcons lost a kind of a heartbreaker game against the New England Patriots, where Drake London had a monster game with 3 tutties, and then obviously the Indianapolis Colts I talked about a little bit earlier. They got basically outmanaged, outhandled by the Pittsburgh Steelers as they suffered the second loss of the season. Last time these 2 teams played, Christian, 2 years ago. Do you remember who won that game? Colts, Falcons in Atlanta.
Atlanta
won.
Atlanta Falcons did win this game 29-10. How do you think this shakes out in 2025? Matt James, talk to me.
I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. I mean, Atlanta's, we don't know which Atlanta's showing up. And last week they put up a fight against New England on the road. Kind of expect them to take that half a step back against a very good Colts team. And I expect Jonathan Taylor to be more, like himself this week. He had kind of a rough week last week. Expect him to get back going again. Give me the Colts.
Well, when your quarterback turns it over with those 3 picks and you get sacked 5 times, it's really hard to get like any rhythm in the running game.
Yeah.
With that being said, yeah, I'm also gonna go with the Colts bouncing back. The problem with the Falcons is, like Matt James kind of referenced, we don't know what version of this team we're gonna see. One week they look like world beaters where they're blowing out teams 35-0, and the next week they get literally goose egged. So yeah, give me the Colts, TJ.
So I think that just kind of goes to a testament of the Colts. So like you can look at it like that, but you can also look at it like this. Hey, we turned the ball over 3 times. Our quarterback got sacked 5 times, and we only lost by 7. Like we got outgained. Jonathan Taylor couldn't run the ball. This is probably his first time being held under what? What he rushed for that game? I'm
45 yards. 45.
40. Like you held Jonathan Taylor under 50 yards. When's the last time a team could say that? Jonathan Taylor probably been held under 50 yards since he was 8 years old, and I'm being nice.
You been running over 50 yards a half.
Like 50 yards on one drive. What did you like?
Yeah.
Being honest. So
yeah.
you can
look he has 80-yard touchdowns already, multiple this season. So
it's like you can look at it like that. So like you can look at it like, hey, we played our absolute worst. Daniel Jones reverted back to New York Giants. Daniel Jones throwing the ball 50 times, 3 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor like 14 carries on 45 yards, and we only lost by 7. Like you can, if you're the Colts and you're looking for that silver lining, it's like, yo, that's the silver lining. We played horrible, and we only lost by a touchdown. That being said, I'm with Matt. I'm fully expecting Jonathan Taylor to literally match that rushing total he had against the Steelers on the first fucking drive. They finna make it a point to establish him. They like, hey, you finna get yours out the gate.
Yeah, I mean, he only had 14 carries in that game against Pittsburgh. It's just that's not.
He might have 14 carries in their first 2 drives.
I think so in the first half for sure. So we'll see.
I ain't say first half, David. I said first 2 drives. The first time the Colts touched the ball, the first 2 times the Colts touched the ball, he gonna get them 14 carries back.
Moving on from there, swinging back over across the pond, back into America. We got Christian's New York Football Giants going into Soldiers Field, taking on our Chicago Bears. The Giants are fresh off losing to the San Francisco 49ers in MetLife Stadium. The Bears obviously winning that thrilling game against Cincinnati. That went down to the wire somehow. Last time these two teams played, Christian, 3 years ago, Christian, do you remember who won that game 3 years ago?
The Giants put BTA. Belts to ass.
I think 20-12 doesn't feel like a belt to ass victory.
Let that score.
But Christian,
for this version.
Starting quarterbacks for these two football teams, respectively. In that game 3 years ago, Justin Fields for the Bears, who was 11 of 22, and Danny Dimes, who was 8 of 13. They leaned hard on their running game. Saquon Barkley went for 146 yards in this game. And Danny Dimes had 2 rushing touchdowns in this game as well. Christian, who do you got in 2025?
I like the Bears. I just think, they're rolling right now. Yeah, they had everybody in Chicago probably trying to get high blood pressure medicine.
That game last week took a few years off my life. I'm not even gonna lie.
Man, you missed the story I was telling earlier. So I started driving to Six Flags when it was like 42-25 or 22-27, like 3 minutes left in the game, and I thought it was over. And then I click over into the Sirius sports radio station, and they're like, "Oh, the Bengals have the lead, and the Bears need to get a field goal in order to win." I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" I'm like,
again, and it's not talked about enough. It's been my issue with national media. When bad calls happen in games, the national media just sweep it under the rug. And they don't talk about it. Like they talk about everything else but that. Like that Tremaine Edmonds pick 6, that was the game.
They picked 6 him twice on that.
That was the game. Like the fact that they said Chase Brown touched him when he was in the act of catching the ball. because Tremaine Evans, he's catching the ball, and Chase Brown taps his shoulder. He doesn't have possession. He's not down on the ground yet. He intercepts the ball. He gets up, runs it back to the house, and they rolled him down where he got touched on the shoulder. And the broadcast is like, "What? That's down by contact?" And with the way gambling is being looked at now, with everything is like super, like especially with the NBA, I think the UFC just got they just got they just got a pro. I would not surprise me one iota if they come out and say like, yeah, that the NFL is being investigated for potential gambling mishaps, and it's stuff like that makes you wonder, what are you looking at? What are you studying? That means like, in order for the Giants to win this game, hey, your three dudes across the board, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, they got to raise some hell. And if it's one thing that they could take note from that Bengals game, is the Bengals did a good job of making Caleb's pocket collapse very quickly. Like, so if I'm the Giants defensive coordinator, hey, I'm bringing as much heat as possible, and it's gonna be across them three doors. Now I know Kayvon Thibodeau was allegedly being shopped. I don't think that was true. I don't think that had any merit to it whatsoever. Like, you literally just got the dude, what, Christian,
2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. He was a 2023 draft.
You gotta let him develop. Teams are so quick
to just say, yeah, this dude ain't it. It ain't working.
And that's the thing. I understand that it's a business at the end of the day, but let this kid further develop, because Matt can vouch for me. When he was in college at Oregon, I thought he was the best all-around player in college football. Just the way he could impact the game, the way he could take a game over, and he was that guy you had to account for.
So if I'm the defense, I'm taking the Bears, like, for obvious reasons. I just think offensively, the Giants don't. I just don't think they have it, especially when Tyrone Tracy is like, he's a more than capable back, but obviously, like, no Scatterboo like that. That's kind of tough. That's kind of tough to deal with, and their offensive line ain't much to brag about either. So yeah, give me the Bears.
I'm also taking the Bears. A little bit of a homer pick, but I do think this game will be closer
than what people think. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think this game will be. I think this is going to be reasonably close. I think Jackson Dart, I've kind of liked what I've seen out of him so far this season. They got them one for sure. Yeah, I think he's good. Like, but yeah, I'm going with the Bears. And Matt Jans, I don't know if I even need to ask you.
Like, it also.
I wish Scatterboo was in this so I can watch him again, but yeah, I'm taking the Bears at home. They just have been finding ways to win, even if it's ugly. And this needs to be uglier than the ugliest moments for the Giants to pull this one off.
It also makes me question, like, the whole starting Russell Wilson thing at the start. Like,
TJ, you say Russell Wilson's name the right way.
That's your thing, but I ain't doing that. But to me, unless it makes sense, unless it's like a distinguishable difference between the two, then I get sitting the young QB for a few games or a season or something like that. There's no way you can sit here and tell me that y'all went through training camp, y'all went through the whole you did, and you said, "Hey, Russ, you're better than Jackson Dart. You're gonna start the first whatever games you started." Like, no. Dart, you're our first round pick for a reason. You getting the reps with the ones. Learn what you can from Russ. Learn what you can from J-Mo. You're starting week 1. I think the Giants did themselves a disservice sitting him those first few games that they did.
Moving on from there, swinging into the AFC East, we got the Miami Dolphins, which at time of recording, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Mike McDaniel, still the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, will probably remain there for the remainder of the season. Miami fresh off losing on Thursday Night Football to the Baltimore Ravens, just getting smothered by the Baltimore Ravens, and Buffalo getting a huge win against the Kansas City Chiefs, as they tiered to do, beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season, and then lose in the playoffs year after freaking year. Fun fact: how many times do you think the Miami Dolphins have beaten the Buffalo Bills since 2018? How many times, Christian? Not zero.
Oh, okay.
I'll say twice because I know they beat them in 2022.
They have 2 victories. Miami has beaten Buffalo twice since 2018. They won in 2022 in Miami, 21-19, and then they won in 2018 also in Miami, 21-17. This game is also in Miami. Christian, is it going to be a hat trick for the Dolphins? They're going to get their 3rd victory in 6+ years, whatever that math is.
I'm taking Buffalo. See what happens when you let James cook. They're a better offense because of it. And Josh Allen, he just knows how to really dominate these Miami Dolphins. I think he's like 15-2 all time against Miami. This is Dak Prescott against the Giants. This is I'm going here and I don't care. TJ can get mad all he wants.
Don't do it. Yeah, he's gonna Aaron Rodgers against the Bears.
Why would I get mad?
Aaron Rodgers against the Bears. This is Tom Brady.
David and Matt will get mad before I will. I don't give a fuck.
You do. I like Buffalo in this one. They know every game moving forward for them is really important.
It's must win. It's basically must win.
There's a team. What you just said?
It's must win. It's basically must win.
Yeah, it's every game is must win, especially with them looking up to the New England Patriots in the AFC East.
I'm also riding with the Buffalo Bills. They're just Dolphins are going to have to. There's going to be a major restructure of this coaching staff and this roster in the offseason. I would imagine.
I'm disappointed in Miami. I expected more moves to be made. I expected more cleaning house to be done. Now Bradley Chubb might have been kind of hard because you gave up a lot for him.
Well, I think the other big problem is like Jalen Waddle. It's like the big pieces that they have, like Bradley Chubb and Jalen Waddle. I'm pretty sure they just extended those guys either like this offseason or last offseason, and so they can trade them later. There's no reason to trade them right now unless you get the absolute offer that you wanted. I mean, if you're not offering me a 1st-round pick for Jalen Waddle, I'm hanging up the phone. Same thing with Bradley Chubb.
At the same time, it's also like I don't think those dudes are worth 1st-round picks. So
either way, I mean they're under contract. They're not hurting your books. I mean, you're assuming in Miami there's going to be a new quarterback under center next season potentially, or at least they'll be drafting somebody. And you want to at least give him something with Jalen Waddle. And if somebody blows you away in the offseason with an offer of Jalen Waddle, then you pull the trigger. They just didn't like the offers they got.
And like, there's a reason why Trey Hendrickson is still
it's the same idea.
Officially a Bengal. Like, it was Diana Rossini tweeted out yesterday that the Bengals were asking for it first. And people are like, "Yo, you are outside your fucking mind." I can literally.
I think he's worth it first. But if you're a team like the Colts, like if I was the Colts, we didn't talk about this a lot in the trade deadline. But if I was the Colts, I would have taken that package that I traded for Sauce Gardner, and I would have traded that for Trey Henderson instead. I think he's a better football player right now.
At the same time, like all 31 other teams are just like, I can wait. I can literally wait till the offseason and just sign him outright without giving up a damn thing.
But if you're trying to win now and you think Trey Henderson's the final piece to a championship, if you're the Bengals, like we're like, I'm going to play hardball with this. Like we can always. Yeah,
I mean, I never said they were crazy for wanting the first. I'm like, hey, I get it. I got what you want. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get whatever the fuck I can. Hey. But where we at? What game?
Bills Dolphins.
Hey, come on, man! Like Josh Allen should literally just, wrap this shit up by halftime, bro. It's like seriously.
Matt James.
I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one. I feel like this is, after a nice victory last week against Kansas City. I mean, they need to keep things rolling. and they need a statement game, not just for the NFL's sake, but for their own going to the second half and continuing to build towards the playoffs. This is that kind of game that, I mean, you need to do it in. I mean, Miami's awful and going nowhere, and still has their head coach for some reason. Give me Buffalo in a big victory in this one. I mean, they played each other pretty tight over the years, but Buffalo.
Moving on from there, we're moving on to the matchup between two teams both wearing purple, the Baltimore Ravens and the Minnesota Vikings. This game is in Minnesota. All-time series between these two franchises. The Ravens have the slight edge, 4-3. Both of these teams are coming off of season-saving victories against the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions, respectively. J.J. McCarthy had his best game as a pro. Last time these two teams played was actually 3 or 4 years ago, November, almost to the date, actually. Christian, do you remember who won this game 4 years ago on November 7th, 2021?
Minnesota did. Minnesota went to Baltimore and won that game.
You are usually spot on with these things, but you're actually wrong. The last time these two teams played, Baltimore Ravens did host the Minnesota Vikings, but they won in overtime, 34-31. Kirk Cousins had 2 touchdowns, Lamar Jackson 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. Dalvin Cook had 100 yards, and Lamar Jackson had 120 yards rushing. It's Devontae Freeman, what a name, was the leading rusher, non-Lamar Jackson rusher for the Baltimore Ravens as they hold on and beat the Minnesota Vikings in overtime. Christian, who needs this victory more, Ravens or the Vikings? And who will get the victory?
I mean, they both need it, if we're being real. But to answer your question, I'll say Baltimore, just due to the simple fact now you're healthy. Lamar Jackson is back on the field. And look at how different of a football team they are with Lamar compared to how they are with Aaron. And it also makes you wonder, should they have started Snoop a little bit earlier before instead of
TJ talked about it. TJ talked about this last week actually, because he was on the practice squad of the Browns, and so I don't think they were able to just.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder. I don't agree with anything TJ says because he just don't know shit. But
that's why we can't get ahead as people, because black folks like that. You know what?
I like Baltimore in this one. I think this could be the most entertaining game of the 1 o'clock slate of games. I think the ball's going to fly around. Baltimore's secondary, they're going to be tested because there are 3 wide receivers and a tight end that you have to account for. You got to account for TJ Hawkinson. You got to account for Jalen Naylor. You got to account for Jordan Addison. And, of course, you got to account for Jetters.
I don't know, man. This Patriots Buccaneers is in this early slate, so
it is. No, you're absolutely correct. But I'm gonna go Baltimore here in a close one. I think Lamar does just enough to get Baltimore into the win column for the 3rd consecutive game.
Man, Lamar Jackson. So I know he hasn't played I think he missed 3 or 4 games so far this season, but he's thrown 14 touchdowns to 1 pick this season. He's been crazy efficient, as throwing the football for a running quarterback. I'm going with the Ravens too, but I don't necessarily disagree with Christian that this is going to be an entertaining football game, but I don't think it's the most entertaining game of the early slate, but it's definitely the second one. It's definitely. I think these two teams are interesting. I think they're going to be, their defenses are going to get after it, and I want to see JJ McCarthy kind of build on what was a successful return from injury. He was being babied a little bit because Carson Wentz was kind of just playing, even though he was a shell of himself. And you finally get that start, you play well, and let's see you build on that momentum. But I'm going to go with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Matt James.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens on the road. I mean, this is a huge game for both teams. Especially the Vikings. I mean, the NFC North is a very competitive division this year.
Last 2 years, really.
Yeah, especially with the Bears coming up. Minnesota loses this, Bears win. Actually, even if they lose, Minnesota being last. But I'm going to take Baltimore. I mean, they're just a different team with Lamar back in there, and they're getting some guys back on defense too. So I'm going to take Baltimore to
T-
really win. It should be
TJ.
fun.
To your point about JJ McCarthy being coddled, yeah, Carson Wentz had moments. He had moments where it was like, hey, that's that Philly Carson Wentz. That's the Carson Wentz that went
Should
13
have
or
won. Should have won
whatever.
MVP.
One that should have won MVP. But then all of a sudden it's like you say, he fell apart. Like he's like you found out that non-throwing shoulder was a lot worse than anticipated. Now he's out for the season. And I said something a week ago about JJ McCarthy coming back against the team that coming back against the Lions defense that's formidable. And then I stopped myself because it's like you can't avoid them. Like you're gonna see these dudes for the next twice a year for the next decade plus. So ain't no sugarcoating, ain't no let's find an easy opponent for you to work your way back in. Nah. And it just gets harder because you're facing the Ravens team, to Christian's point, who's getting healthy at the right fucking time. It's week 10. They're missing everybody on their defense except BK, and he's out for the season. And the only way I see Minnesota winning this game is if they exploit that weak ass secondary that Baltimore has, because that's still a problem. That is still a problem. And I'm kind of shocked Baltimore didn't make a move to bring in. I don't know who they would have brought in. I don't know who, but and I don't know if they've been tired.
I'm kind of surprised that they just punted on. I know Zaire Alexander's kind of washed, but I'm surprised they just punted on him. Because
man, like truth be told, I would have just like released him after that. I forgot who they played, but the guy scores a touchdown. He does the Ray Lewis dance. He tries to fight the dude after that. It's like you had a whole drive to stop that.
That was against Houston.
Okay, yeah. Like you playing Houston and Buddy scored his touchdown. He do the Ray Lewis dance, and you just got so offended that he did that dance.
I mean, not to mention you're Zaire Alexander. You've been a Raven for like 3 months.
3 months. Get out of here, bro. Give me the Ravens. I just and it's nothing against JJ. I just trust. Obviously, like, you trust Lamar Jackson way more than you trust JJ McCarthy, and I think, and it's going to be tough because that Vikings home field advantage is one of the best in the league.
Moving on from there, probably what going from.
Wait a minute. Is this JJ McCarthy's home debut? It is. This is his first game at home.
No, it's not. It's his no, because he played in week 2 against Atlanta.
Yeah.
At home.
You're right.
Moving on from there, from a very entertaining football game to what might be the worst game of the weekend. I apologize, Christian, if you have to watch this game in the early window, or if you live in Cleveland/Columbus and have to watch this in the early window.
David, I don't
care.
Yeah, but you should still have a better game on because, you're going to be sitting there watching this game when Tampa Bay and the Patriots are going head to head, or when the Ravens and the Vikings are going head to head.
Look, that's what the ticket is for, baby.
Anyways, we got the New York Jets. I don't remember what. I think the Jets may have been on a bye last week. Going into Cleveland, who may have been on a bye last week too. I don't really know. But they were both huge sellers in this NFL trade deadline. Now they're going head to head. Justin Fields, Dylan Gabriel. Last time these two teams played was actually 2 years ago. The Browns on the road to Joe Flacco taking them to the playoffs, 37-20. TJ, what we got in 2025? Jets, Browns.
Who gives a shit?
Well, we gotta pick. We gotta pick one.
Okay. I'm going with the Jets. To your earlier question, both teams were on the bye. Cleveland. I'm somehow getting Cleveland sports media on my Facebook and Instagram reels and all that other shit. And Cleveland sports media is, they are incensed. They are like not liking how this whole quarterback thing has played out. They are not liking Kevin Stefanski, how he's handled it. They're not liking that the GM has been basically non-existent. Like, bro, it's the bye week, and no one answered. Like no one's available for questions. It's the bye week. How is no one available? How is no one available to talk? Not a soul. So yeah, Cleveland media is like, yeah, this is instead of just saying yes, I messed up, I handled this wrong. You're just doubling down on your decision making, and you're just making it that much worse. Coming off that game against Cincinnati, this I say it all the time. You hate going in. You hate having a week off after a
Yeah.
game like that. You
Yep.
hate it because it's like, damn, shit's
Like
about to
you,
happen.
you're trying to build momentum, and then literally you get this crazy victory where you pull the rabbit out of the hat, and then you got to sit around for a week.
Sit around for a whole week. Like,
With that being said, I'm taking the Jets too. They're a better football team than, even with them trading away their two best players on defense, they're still a better team than Cleveland.
yeah.
Christian.
I'm expecting this to be a battle of between Brees Hall and Quinshon Judkins.
If
Whoever.
Quinshon Judkins plays, I'm going to look at his status right now. Actually, I know he was banged up with a hamstring injury his last game out. But Christian,
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. See, he feels the same way.
Quinshon Judkins should be back in this game. So
Nah, I just think this is the Jets' first home game since Nick Mangold passed. I know it's gonna be. Yeah, they're gonna go out. They're gonna get a win for the big guy.
Matt James.
I don't know. Yes.
Moving on from there, probably the game of the weekend, probably one of the shameless plugs, but we got the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Tom Brady Bowl. Last time these two teams played was actually 4 years ago, and Tampa Bay got the victory 19-17. I think that was actually in like one of Tom Brady's final seasons in the National Football League. Christian, hit me with it.
David, Matt.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. One.
Let's go.
2,
3.
Shameless plug number one, baby.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Yeah, I've been high on New England. Mike Vrabel was my pick to win Coach of the Year, and Drake May. I mean, he's really climbed the ladder. He has. Me personally, I think he's a dark horse MVP candidate. I mean,
I think you can remove the word dark horse. I think you can just say MVP candidate.
He's an MVP candidate at this point. New England's doing everything right. I'll put it to you guys like this: this is a modern day Belichick type football team. Younger players who still know they have to do their job, but they're having fun while they do it. In Tampa Bay, they bounce back nicely in New Orleans after just being curb stomped by the Detroit Lions. This is interesting. Two quarterbacks who have really been just slinging the ball all over the field. I can't wait to get my hands on this one. I previewed this one on Friday.
So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're coming off their bye week. It's an opportunity for a lot of their banged up players to finally get right. Bucky Irving potentially could return in this game. If you remember, Emeka Ibuka, he was dealing with some injuries, hamstring stuff in their last couple games. He should be able to get healthy. Same thing with Chris Godwin, who was dealing with still lingering injuries from what happened to him last season. And they dealt with some injuries in the offensive line. So, that bye week for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers couldn't have come at a better time. And for the Patriots, they're just cooking right now. They're on a hot streak. Drake May, Christian just said, you can remove the word dark horse. He's just a straight up MVP candidate. He's in that conversation for, the best player in the league right now. At least it's just stats wise. Real quick, injury wise, for the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson, I don't believe he played against the Atlanta Falcons. Still pretty questionable for this game as well. Same with Christian Gonzalez, who got banged up with a head injury. So we'll see if those guys end up returning for this game. With that being said, this is an interesting one. I think because Tampa Bay is at home, I'm sort of leaning that way, but this is an absolute, as close as it gets, coin flip. Give me Tampa Bay, though, I think. Matt James.
I'm going to go with New England on this one. I just feel like all around they're playing better football. They've just been going week in, week out. playing strong, both sides of the ball. Is Bucky Irving back for this one?
Possibly, yeah, he's still questionable.
He's still questionable.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't think they've practiced yet, so I don't think they have stats on if he's practicing or yet or not. But he was pretty close to coming back before the bye week, so I think they held him out because of the bye week coming up. So I would, if I was besting, I would think he returns in this game.
Okay, I'm gonna go New England. Comes down to the last drive. This will be a good one to watch.
TJ, talk to me.
Baker. That's all I gotta say. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield hear this shit, man. Drake. He finna say Drake May. Drake May MVP over me? Yeah, okay. Baker Mayfield finna say it's levels to this shit, homie. It's levels to this shit.
Swinging from there, let's go into the NFC South. We got the New Orleans Saints, fresh off taking another L to the Los Angeles Rams and Tyler Shook's first NFL start, going into Carolina, who just upset the Green Bay Packers this most recent Sunday. But yeah, with that being said, I think Carolina's got something. They're 5-4. They're on the cusp of being a wild card team. Rico Dowell has really injected some real life into this Carolina Panthers team ever since he kind of took over for Chuba Hubbard. You hate to see a guy lose their job because they get injured. But for Rico Dowell has been they can't get him off the football field. I'll take the Panthers. And this is going to be my lock of the week, actually. Give me Carolina. TJ. Actually, my lock of the week would have been Buffalo, but I forgot to do it at that point. So I'm going to roll with it here. Carolina.
Yeah. If they don't win, this one, it's a problem. If they don't win this one, it's a problem.
Christian.
Right.
Exactly. Matt James.
Carolina. New Orleans can't win at home or away.
Moving on from there, from the NFC South to the AFC South. And we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, fresh off winning that game in overtime against the Las Vegas Raiders, heading down into NRG Stadium, the home of the Houston Texans. Obviously, they just got done losing to the Denver Broncos in a very competitive game on Sunday afternoon. But this one, Jaguars, Texans in Houston. TJ, who do you got? Travis Hunter on the IR, not going to play in this game for sure. BTJ is dealing with some sort of injury and is unlikely to play in this game. So there's just some injury stuff. Nico Collins came back. CJ Stroud, I'm not sure what his status is. Let me look that up right now, because I know Davis Mills came in and played admirably, but he's no CJ Stroud. He's in the concussion protocol, so I don't know. He may. I would say he probably doesn't play in this game.
I like Jacksonville. There's just nothing that I've seen that I've liked from the Houston offense. Their defense has been great, but their performances have been wasted because the offense can't put points on the board every time they get the ball back for them. Houston's really struggled this year. I think a lot of people have been expecting them to kind of take that next step in the AFC, but they're nowhere close to being ready to doing that.
I agree with you. And unfortunately, CJ Stroud, after a really strong rookie season, he's come back down to earth the last couple of years, last 2 seasons for sure. Hasn't looked as good or as sharp. And the Texans as a team haven't looked as good or as sharp. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars. TJ.
Like, no season. Shit was hard for the Texans even with CJ Stroud. If CJ Stroud not there, it's really gonna be bad. And I said it in the group chat, like, it's unfortunate for Davis Mills because he put up numbers with the Texans. They just didn't equate to wins.
Yeah.
Like, that was the fucked up part about it. Like, with him and Gardner Minshew, like, they was putting up numbers for their respective franchises. David almost had to buy a Gardner Minshew jersey. He was a couple hundred yards short of having
man, I kind of wish I had bought a Gardner Minshew jersey. Now I love Gardner Minshew.
He was a couple hundred yards short of having to buy a Gardner Minshew jersey. and it's unfortunate because like it's just how shit works out. Like Gardner Minshew putting up numbers for the Jags, not winning. The result, oh, they draft Trevor Lawrence. Davis Mills is putting up numbers for the Texans. They not winning. The result, they draft C.J. Stroud, and C.J. Stroud not even there. So it's gonna be back to see Davis Mills for this game. And if you're the Jags, you just got a shiny new toy in Jacoby Myers. You're gonna hope to show that out. Jacoby Myers is probably gonna be like, "Hey, I finally have a quarterback who can throw me the ball."
Jacoby Myers is going to be wide receiver 1 probably on Sunday because I do not expect Brian Thomas Jr. to play, and I don't expect Travis Hunter to play. So outside obviously of, they don't have a he's wide receiver 1. He's pass catching option 1 in Jacksonville this week. With that being said, I'm taking the Jags too. Matt James.
I'm going Jacksonville on this one. I feel like Houston's a little too banged up on offense. Give me Jacksonville.
Moving on now to the late afternoon window. We got the battle of the birds down in Seattle. We got the Arizona Cardinals coming in, fresh off beating the Dallas Cowboys last night. And then the Seattle Seahawks had an impressive victory against the Washington Commanders. I'll talk more about them there in a few minutes. But Seattle, Arizona, Seattle just added Rashid Shaheed, the flyer, which really should add a really interesting dynamic to their offense. As they didn't have a guy that could just take the top off the offense, off the defense before. Now they do. Pair it up with the two-headed monster they have in the backfield behind A.J. Barner and JSN, who's probably the best receiver in football this season. TJ, Cardinals, Hawks.
Just real quick, Arizona has won 8 of their last 9 games against Dallas. Last night included.
They've never lost in Jerry World. I think they've won every game they played there.
Kyler Murray has never lost in Jerry World, but he didn't play last night, so that doesn't count. That being said, Seattle was another team that was like rumored to be shopping one of their top defensive guys. That top defensive guy was Tariq Woolen. I thought it was bullshit from Jump Street. I'm like, there's no way in hell you're shopping one of your best guys, and you're now what are you now 6-3, 7-2, 6-2.
Yeah,
I'm like, there's no way in hell you're shopping that guy, and you're fighting for a division crown right now. Give me Seattle. I kind of like with Atlanta. It's the same thing with Arizona. Like, you don't know which Cardinals team you're gonna get on a week-to-week basis. Monday, all right, so I'm listening to First Take at work. Don't say none, Christian. It's just a habit. I've been doing it for years. And Darren Orlovsky is on the set talking. Mind you, they're doing this show live in Jerry World. Like they're on the set.
Man, so just talk about them for just a second. They showed a shot of Jerry Jones with Stephen A. Smith like in the booth together.
Hilarious.
Stephen A. Smith looked miserable. Like it would look like the most miserable experience ever. And then when they showed Jerry Jones later, Stephen A. Smith was nowhere to be found.
So check it out. So what happened with that was the Cowboys had a fumble on the play. Arizona recovered it. Stephen A. Smith was seen like he gapped Jerry Jones up and left. Like he was like, I'm out. Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm out. But they were like, so they were they're doing First Take, and Darren Orlovsky's talking, and he goes to say that the Arizona Cardinals have trailed for a total of 90 minutes this season. So that means like they're in these games. They just do dumb shit to lose them. And we've seen some of the dumb shit. Like,
man, 90 minutes just seems like an eternity.
Like, but it's like across 7 games, you've trailed for 90 minutes total. Like, that's it.
Yeah, like, every single game of theirs was a one score until last night. Like, you either lost or win, it was a one score.
It was a 1 score game. Like, you trailed for 90. So like that just makes you go back. And David, we do this all the time. Matt, we do this all the time with the Bears. Right, we look back, it's like, damn, if shit went different this game or that.
Man, that's
game,
like an entire game and a half. Like, are you sure that's
right? Yeah, that's right. I'm not making that up. Like they trailed for 90 minutes before last night. They trailed for 90 minutes total.
Is that 90 minutes of real time, or is it like 90 minutes of like clock time?
Football time.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? 90 minutes is 90
That's
minutes.
not a
It's
lot.
not a lot. That's not a lot.
It sounds like an eternity, but it's not.
I know, but they've lost all their games for like the final minutes, and they've been winning most of their games.
And
For
one
them,
of it was
that number just seems really high. Like I don't know, but I know TJ's always right on this shit. I don't know why I ever question him. But
Christian being disrespectful. See, just being disrespectful. I'm taking Arizona. I'm taking Arizona. I'm taking Seattle. I just think that I don't know. Like I think especially with the shining toy, with their shining toy with Shaheed, with Rashid Shaheed, you pair him with JSN. That's literally a picky poison. We gonna slice and dice you with JSN, or I'm gonna beat you over the top with Shaheed. And Sam Darnold was gonna be one of my game balls of the week, but I didn't make it back in time. Give me Seattle.
You know what's crazy? So I'm also taking the Seattle Seahawks, but you know what's crazy to me? So right now, the way the playoff picture works out in the NFC, two of these teams are guaranteed to miss the playoffs. Two of them guaranteed. The Packers, Lions, and Bears are all 5-3 or 5-2-1. And in the NFC West, the Seahawks, Rams, and Niners are all sitting there with at least 6 wins. Two of those football teams are going to be sitting at home when it comes to the postseason, which seems like wow.
That's how it goes.
So yeah, I mean that's just crazy. That's crazy to me. But yeah, I'll take Seattle. Christian.
Yeah, I like Seattle as well. They've been sneaky good. I mean, they're running the ball. Sam Darnold.
Have they been sneaky good? It's like is it
I mean, they've been on prime time a lot, so I think they've just been good.
Think about it. You don't hear people talking about them. Yeah. Like you hear people.
All right, so let me ask you this. Like, do you think it's still because they view Sam Darnold as New York Jets Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I mean, look, was the best I've ever seen him look. He learned last season. And so this is still out on him. I need to see him do it when it matters most because he wet the bed in that final game of the season against the Lions, and then he was nowhere to be found against the Rams wild card round. But he's playing well. I mean, it just he's in a better environment, And again, I think he can't handle New York, TJ. Either you can handle it or you can't. Seattle is such a smaller market.
I mean, in New York, there was no Justin Jefferson walking through that door. There was no Jackson Smith and Jigman. Those guys never walked through that door when the whole time he was in New York.
To be fair,
that's very true.
To be fair.
All right, Matt, go ahead.
I'm going to go with Seattle on this one. Arizona had their chance in taking them out the first time around when they came back and blew it at home. I'm going to take Seattle in double digits in this one with their shiny new toy.
Moving on for what is probably the game of the late window. Unfortunately, Lions Commanders, repeat of last year's playoff game. We'll talk about it here in a minute, but just the injuries have really derailed that matchup. But 49ers, Rams, I have no idea what Brock Purdy's status is for this game. I haven't been at work yet this week, but he's a week-to-week, day-to-day scenario. I have no idea from minute to minute if he's going to be able to suit up at any point again this season. And the Rams are cooking. They just beat the New Orleans Saints in Tyler Shook's first NFL start, and the Niners beat the New York Football Giants on Sunday afternoon. Christian, going back to a game of Thriller Thursday night, how do you think this one shakes out? Is it coming? Are we having it?
David, Matt, let's do it. Let's do it on my count. 1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 2, baby.
There's another guy we need to add to that MVP conversation.
Chris McCaffrey?
Matthew Stafford. He's thrown like 22 touchdown passes and only 2 picks. I mean, come on. look, this is the best I've ever seen him look. But nah, the
21-2 for Matthew Stafford.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, look, it gets no more efficient than that. And I remember TJ making that point about just like all the solid wide receivers that he's played with throughout his career. But nah, I look at the Rams, they're trying to establish Kyron Williams a little bit more. And defensively, they're still a young unit, but they have a year of experience under their belt. The 49ers, they find ways to squeak games out. Establishing Christian McCaffrey, Mac Jones looks pretty good. Me personally, I don't think we're going to see Brock Purdy the remainder of this season. I mean, I think his injury is a lot more worse than what's.
I think San Francisco did themselves a major disservice when they didn't put him on IR when he originally got hurt. If they had just let him sit for 4 or 5 weeks and been on IR and tried to rush him back, I think what happened was, they paid him and then they're like, oh, you're immediately going to have a turf toe. And people want to poo-poo the turf toe injury because it just sounds like such a basic injury. And they're like, well, no, we're going to rush you back. And then you don't particularly play well in that game against Jacksonville. And now it may cost you the remainder of the season.
So I previewed David. I previewed this one on Thursday. You're going to look out.
With all that being said, I just think the Rams are a better football team right now than the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, you look at the San Francisco 49ers, I mean, the 49ers the Giants gave them all they could handle, especially with the front four for the Giants. And who has a really good front four? Los Angeles Rams. I'm taking the Rams. I think they're cooking right now, and I think that they're going to be there when it's all said and done at the end. Not that they're going to the Super Bowl or anything, but they're going to be somebody you're going to have to hear from when it comes to playoff time. Give me the Rams. I think they win pretty big. I think this might be like what Matt James was talking about, double-digit victory. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I like the Rams too. I mean, Mac Jones has been serviceable for the Niners, but Rams are just on a whole nother level right now, above San Fran.
I'm on TikTok last night and somebody was doing like a fan reaction to like week 9. It's just, he happened to be a Lions fan, by the way, and he was impartial. He was, he wasn't biased at all. He was critical of the Lions losing to the Vikings. He said the play calling was trash, woo. But he gets to the Niners and he's like, how the fuck is this team 6-3? And I'm just like,
it's coaching.
Yeah, how is this team 6-3? Like injuries left and right. Matt Jones.
That's what happens when you have arguably one of the better coaches in the NFL, and you have one of the better defensive coordinators in the NFL, and Robert Saleh. I mean, that's coaching is what makes a huge difference when it comes to this scenario. When it comes, that's why Kyle Shanahan is like people. TJ, people want to fire him, but he's one. You're not going to replace him with anyone better. Most probably.
He'd have a job in an hour. Like he would have a job in an hour if the Niners ever said, "Yeah, we're done." That being said, I'm going with the Rams. Mac Jones, he's done beautifully, like with what he's been given, right? And it's instant. Like I wouldn't be surprised if San Fran won because Levi Stadium just so happens to be one of those places that the Rams that they struggle in, and you can't really say they have a home field advantage when they play the Niners because when the Niners do go to Levi Stadium, it's literally 70-30 Niners to Rams fans, maybe more. And I'm going with the Rams, but I also wouldn't be surprised if San Fran somehow pulled the rabbit out the hat, like they make Stafford's life a living hell, and that 2 interceptions becomes 3, maybe 4. Like it's entirely possible.
I agree with you on that. I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about this next week and the 49ers somehow pull the rabbit out of the hat and win this game. To the final game in the late afternoon window and a rematch of the divisional round last season between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Commanders. Obviously, a much different scenario than what played out last season in the playoffs. Obviously, Jaden Daniels injured his elbow. Season is officially over. Marshawn Lattimore also tore his ACL in that game where the Commanders got beat by Seattle. Let me ask you a question, because I'm assuming we're all going to go with the Lions. Do you think Dan Quinn has any kind of responsibility for what happened to Jaden Daniels? Yes or no?
No, hindsight's 2020.
Because I've seen a lot of conversation on the internet because of the game and being was already up, like quote unquote out of hand, that Jaden Daniels should have no longer been under center at that point in the game. And so I was at Six Flags, so I didn't get to watch this particular game, but I did see the injury later. But the other side of the argument is Jaden Daniels has missed a lot of time. Like he needs live in-game reps, and injuries are just part of the league.
So
where do you guys fall on this conversation?
The reason I say no, Dan Quinn, is he gonna? He has to catch the blame right now. He has to catch the hell right now because Jaden Daniels got injured. But like we said, it's hindsight is 2020. Ask the Denver Broncos when they played the Giants why Bo Nix was still in the game and you were down 30 whatever. Mind you, Denver scored all 33 of their points in one quarter. Bo Nix was still in the game. Their starters were still in the game. So was Sean Payton his coaching one called into question? Like, hey, it's the fourth quarter. You're down 30. Why are your starters still in this game? Oh,
I mean, another. I mean, you had the Bengals just this week. Like, they were down by 15 points with just a few minutes left in the game, and Joe Flacco was still out there. They're not catching
they scored 14 points in 50 seconds. Why are the starters still in the game? Because in this game, anything is fucking possible. You get a score, you get a stop, you get a score, you get a stop, and you right back in it. You're right back in it. Like it is.
I agree with you. I just saw that conversation on the internet. I just wanted to see what you guys.
I saw it. No, I saw it too, and I see both sides. It's 31-7 with 7.5, 8 minutes left. Why is he in the game? Hindsight is 2020. Did he call that play anticipating Jaden Daniels' elbow was going to get dislocated? No. But at the same time, if you're Jaden Daniels and that play is called, slide, hand the ball up. Don't hand the ball up. It's a read option for a reason. The option is for you to hand the ball off or keep it. Maybe hand the ball off a lot more than keeping it for yourself. You're getting hit. They did the math on this too, David. First take, they did the math. He's getting hit minimum 12 times a game. That's a lot for a quarterback of his size. 12 times a game.
Christian and Matt, you guys have same idea? You guys on the same wavelength with that?
I want to know why Dan had him in the game.
I just told you why he was in the game.
Do I listen to you?
See, that's your problem.
I mean, you go out there, you put your best players in.
Hold on, Matt. We got a problem. We got to talk about this right now.
No, we don't, Matt. Keep talking.
With them big ass ears, I know you heard what I said.
I know your nugget head ass ain't talking.
Is. God damn it, is.
Oh, okay. You're gonna have to see. You know what?
Moving on to Sunday Night Football. We have a matchup, two of the powerhouses in the AFC right now. We have the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, the Chargers fresh off beating the Tennessee Titans on Sunday afternoon, and the Pittsburgh Steelers fresh off beating a different AFC South team, this time the Indianapolis Colts. Last time these two teams played was last season. Christian, do you remember who got that victory last season? Chargers, Steelers.
Okay, so I remember it being week 3 in Pittsburgh. I previewed it. The Steelers won that game.
The Steelers did win that game, 20-10. Starting quarterbacks: Justin Herbert versus Justin Fields. J.K. Dobbins was the leading rusher for the Los Angeles Chargers, and Will Dissly was the leading receiver for the Chargers. And on the Steelers side, Najee Harris was the leading receiver and rusher in that game. But Christian, talk to me about this one. Is this also?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But,
it certainly could be. I mean, these two teams are rolling right now.
It definitely could be. My thing with the Chargers is which version of them shows up, because they kind of played down to Tennessee last week. Yeah, and that's my thing. They were 3-0. I remember being on this show telling all of you guys, I think Jim Harbaugh like the effect is really lingering amongst his men right now because Justin's playing with poise. He's playing with more control. They're trying to run the ball. Defensively, they're playing really well. Then they come to the Meadowlands and they drop the ball. The Commanders come into their place and take their lunch money, and they barely got by the Miami Dolphins. I mean, I thought they looked absolutely great against the Minnesota Vikings, but last week, yeah, I didn't like what I saw from the Chargers, and then
I think the Chargers, their injuries are really starting to pile up for the Chargers. I mean, their offensive line was one of the strengths of their team in the first couple of weeks. Now Joe Alt's on the sideline for the remainder of the season. They also lost. Man, his name is totally escaping me right now. Their best offensive tackle. They lost him in the so they lost their left and right tackle. So like the injuries are starting to pile up, and that's I think it's what you're seeing with the Chargers. Like Justin Herbert's having to do like his best Josh Allen impression right now every week.
But it's also like you said, it's coaching, right? Like you can't sit here and tell me that if this is still what his buddy name that was fired, Brandon Staley. You can't sit here and tell me if this is Brandon Staley still coaching this team, they not in the position that they are in. Like they're probably worse than what they are. Like they're 100% worse. Right? Christian said it. They played down to Tennessee. Pick 6 to start the game. You gave a team like Tennessee.
I mean, you gave them 14 points, and their offense didn't do shit. They gave them 14 points in a punt return and a pick 6.
Like when you're a team like Tennessee, you need all the fucking breaks you can get, and you got 2 of them, and it's like, yeah. So if you're the Chargers, like obviously, yeah, like the injuries are piling up. It's like Trevor Penny, your first game as a Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, you just have to line up against TJ Watt for the entire
and let's not forget Trevor Penning was not good in Tennessee. It was not good in New Orleans, and that's why they drafted 2 left tackles to replace him in back-to-back drafts. Good luck.
So it's like, and if you put him on the right side, oh, that's just Cam, like that's just Cam Hayward, like or
Highsmith,
or Alex Highsmith, it's like so it's gonna be a full day. It's gonna be a long day at the office for Trevor Penning, and it is what it is. Like that being said, we ain't finna sit here and act like on the other side, like, hey, like, is Khalil Mack back? Is he playing?
Yeah.
So
he's.
right.
I don't think he missed even one game with whatever was going on with his arm.
So yeah, so like he might miss. I think he missed like maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, maybe. But
it was early enough for them to be like, like he'll be back. That being said, like, hey, it's like Khalil Mack still is Khalil Mack, bro. Like let's be real.
He's played 5 of their 9 games, so he missed 4.
He's missed 4
with it. Yeah, so.
And the Steelers, they needed that win on Sunday because like the sky was falling, and Baltimore is healthy. They won 2 straight, and then Cincinnati is doing. Joe Flacco was doing that stuff. So like Steelers fans kind of needed to breathe a sigh of relief, be like, "Whew, we needed that win." I don't think they're gonna win on Sunday though. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah,
let me swing back to Christian. I didn't mean to cut you off earlier, by the way.
I'm with TJ. I like the Chargers here. I think if they can turn it into a shootout, that works in their favor because now at this point in his career, Aaron Rodgers can't throw the ball as many times as he can, maybe 30 times at the most. Anything over that is a certified L, in my opinion. No, I think the Chargers they're gonna establish the tempo of the game in their favor. Lots of quick passes. That's the only way you can neutralize this pass rush. Pass rush can't get home. The ball is already out the quarterback's hands. Yeah, I definitely I like the Chargers. I just don't think the Steelers secondary. I don't know if they can handle what Quentin Johnston's about to bring.
Led McConkey and Keenan Allen,
Keenan Allen,
Matt James.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers in this one too. Playing at home, all the weapons they got. I mean, both teams need this victory pretty badly. I mean, midway through the season, but I think the Chargers are probably a little closer to that playoff spot than Pittsburgh right now. Give me the Chargers.
Well, I mean, the Steelers are currently winning their division. The Chargers are chasing the
Yeah.
Denver Broncos, and they have the Kansas City Chiefs nipping at their heels.
Kansas City's
So
right
I think
up their ass.
the Chargers
So
need this win more.
Yeah.
But I think the injuries stuff is going to be too much for the Chargers to overcome, and that defense for Pittsburgh. I'm actually taking the Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers has. I think he has a virtuoso performance, in the words of the famous Israel Rivera.
Wow, that's a word we have not heard yet.
And speaking of virtuoso performances, we got the Philadelphia Eagles going into Lambeau, taking on the Green Bay Packers. A rematch of the wild card game from this most recent playoffs, as the Eagles marched right to Super Bowl 59, and they beat down the Kansas City Chiefs. Packers coming off that devastating loss to the Carolina Panthers. I wouldn't say devastating, just kind of shocking or upsetting loss.
That's devastating. That's devastating.
The Philadelphia Eagles have been sitting at home waiting, coming into Lambeau. This is a big game for both teams. The Packers try to stay the number one seed in the NFC North. The Eagles just trying to get a home field advantage in the NFC because they're in a division that's not great right now, and they should almost win the division by default. But the Packers are going for a slugfest when it comes to their division. Christian, talk to me.
David.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Let's wrap this thing up. Come on, Matt. Let's go.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number three, baby.
It was only a matter of time before Saquon Barkley got started. And what's a better way to get started than against your former team? Because the Giants can't stop Cyberbullying.
Man, that kind of sucks though. That you get Saquon Barkley this crazy good game, and then you have to go on your bye and sit around for a week. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, but man, but anytime I watch the Eagles, I'm so reminded of 2023. Remember when they were just skating along, and then eventually it caught up to them. But they've been able to push through. I gotta give them that much. And when you look at their defense, their pass rush, you're a struggling pass rush when somebody has to unretire to come and help.
Man.
Let's just call it what it is. And then on the Green Bay side, this is why I kept telling people. I remember telling TJ this. Look, hold on, Trap. Let's not give them the belt of the best team in the National Football League after 2 games. Yeah, they look great against Detroit. Yeah, they look pretty solid against the Commanders, but look at what they did against Cleveland. They dropped the ball against Cleveland. They tied with the Cowboys. Didn't look all that great against Arizona, and didn't really look all that good, if I'm being completely honest with you, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then look at what they did this past Sunday against Carolina. The point I'm trying to make is the Packers play down a competition, plain and simple, and they're a lot better than this. I preview this one tomorrow, actually. Be on the lookout.
TJ, talk to me.
Yeah, the loss to the Panthers was 100% a trap game. I said this to Christian when he did his preview, and you were questioning said preview, David. You did. You absolutely did.
I was wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong sometimes.
And I just want to point this out, that the decision making that Jordan Love did in this game, I just know that if a certain quarterback in Chicago made those decisions, made those throws, it would be, it would be talked about until the sun rose the next day. And not a thing has been said about Jordan Love and the Packers losing to the Carolina Panthers. Not a word. Nothing.
I mean, a game that they should win in a blowout fashion. There's no reason that they should even let the Panthers should have even been hanging out, especially at Lambeau.
But that's the thing, David. That's the thing. There's no such thing as an easy game.
I know. But if you look at the numbers, I mean, they had over 100 more yards than Carolina. Like, they should have won this game. Like,
yeah, but again, you got to put this on Jordan Love because he did not take care of the
He was
ball.
awful. He was
Yeah, he did
awful.
not look good. And me personally, I think this team goes as Jordan goes. When they get good Jordan, good things happen. When they get bad Jordan, where's the love? See what I did?
stop it. That's why you get paid the big bucks. With all that being said, I'm going to roll with the Philadelphia Eagles because I just can't pick Green Bay. I also love what the Philadelphia Eagles did at the trade deadline. I love bringing in Jalen Phillips, who was really good like 2 years ago. I know he's dealt with a bunch of injuries the last 2 seasons, but I mean, this is a guy that had 15 sacks at one point in Miami. I think he's just what they needed in their pass rushing department. And I love, taking a flyer on Tyler Alexander. If he can come back and find any close to his former form, I think he's still got something left in the tank. And Green Bay, I mean, Christian brings up the point. I don't know what I'm going to see out of them. Like, their offense I know with their defense, it's going to be pretty stout. It's going to get limit points, but this offense is going to have some question marks in the wide receiving core. Not just those all. And now that Tucker Kraft tore his ACL, so that's one weapon that's no longer going to be in the mix for Jordan Love, who's having an outstanding season. Give me Philadelphia. Matt James.
Do I need to say it?
Go ahead, TJ.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Fuck the Packers.
Yeah, give me Philly.
I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest, though. If we're talking here on next Wednesday or next Tuesday, the Packers have won this game.
One surprised me one bit. No.
Yeah. So. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. This has been our week number 9 Monday Night Football recap. We also previewed week number 10. We also talked about the NFL trade deadline as that just went final a couple of hours ago. Thank you very much for joining us here at Prime Sports World. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast if you like what we're doing here. And always leave some comments down if you want to ask us any questions. Fantasy Football Weekly will be tomorrow. My work schedule has kind of changed a little bit this next couple days, so I have to go into work like stupid early. So that show will be earlier than usual from Prime Sports World, but keep an eye out for that content. So just keep checking us out, like, share, and subscribe. I'm David Huffman, Christian Simpson from the Daily Blitz.blog, my co-host, Mr. Matthew James, and Mr. T.J. Hopkins. Gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
We make fun of T.J. Hopkins.
Bring the
heat. We'll be back here tomorrow. You all have a good night and stay safe out there. We'll see you all later.
All right, gentlemen. Have a good night.